Hey guys! Okay, so I've got a concealer for you today. This is the Morphe2 Hide Peek Concealer, okay? Comes in a little box like this. Last year sometime, or last summer I think it was, I reviewed the Morphe2 Hint Hint Skin Tint. This foundation, really nice. Really, really nice. It just looks really good on the skin. It's actually pretty similar to this Stila one, the Hide and Chic. But I don't know, this one feels thinner. I'm not sure, like they have a similar consistency, similar look on the skin. This one's buildable. I feel like I like this one a little bit more. I'm not sure really why. I'm not sure really why. I can't pinpoint a reason why, but I just feel like I would gravitate more to this than to this one, but this one was really good. So anyway, that does not matter at all for this video because we're talking about the concealer today. All right. I got it in the shade Peak of Peach, okay? Now, as I have said in the past several weeks, just about in every single video, oh, this is also frosted, but this is plastic, but it's still like, I mean, like you guys. So I like the continuity of it. Anyway, as I've been saying in the past several weeks, 2 weeks? Several times, several videos, I have got a little bit more color recently because I did get a little bit of a tan this summer. If you can, I can never do this right here. Let's see, can you guys see this? There we go. See that? This is my natural skin tone. Because I'm always covered, my face rarely ever is this color, but it is, I mean, just to give you guys a bit of a comparison or like a baseline, I am very fair. But, and I'm gonna have to say this in every single video from here on out, just so that people understand like what's happening here. I never get the lightest shade, even though the lightest shade may match my actual skin tone. Or people might use that to, you know, brighten their under eyes, whatever. Everyone has a different philosophy. For me, because I have so much hyperpigmentation around my eyes, I'm trying to cover that. So usually I will try to pick a shade that will serve to color correct and conceal in one product so that I don't have to use 10 products just to make it look normal, and then by the end of it you're trying to look better but you only end up looking worse, okay, because it becomes cakey and, you know, all that sort of thing. So there we are. So today, again, Hide and Peek concealer, Peak of Peach. Let's just see what we got for claims. Light to medium coverage, vegan, buildable, natural looking finish. Okay, that's all those things except for vegan. I don't really care, but all those other things, that's what I want. This line I think is meant to be like a very natural looking finish on all your products. I feel like you can get really good coverage out of the foundation, and so this is very glowy by the end of it, but it was long lasting, really pretty on my skin. It was a tad too dark for my regular skin, like my regular skin tone, but it matches me now that I'm a little bit tan. But anyway, and I say all that to, like, they're saying natural finish. This had more of a glowy finish in my opinion, and it just got glowier because I do have technically combination skin. So, all right, let's just see what we got here. But again, I think this is meant to be sort of on the natural makeup side of things. All right, so the applicator looks good. It looks like it's a doe foot, but it really is looking very much like a like lip gloss kind of doe foot, but working fine. Does feel very creamy. I was expecting it to be a little bit thinner. All right, so I'm going to use today, this is the AOA Studio F19 brush. This, I think most people would consider this like a highlighter type brush, but it works really good for concealer for me. I did, again, like I said, I got Peak of Peach, but I don't know if you can tell, it is seeming a bit light. And we'll just see what happens, but we've got a couple options that can happen. Either it'll be too light and start to look gray on my under eyes, which I don't think it's doing very much. Like, I'm in natural lighting right now and I'm not seeing like gray ashiness, but I am seeing a brightening effect. A lot of times I will use a concealer such as this Kylie Jenner Skin Concealer, which is actually really good for me. It's got very glowy finish, so much more glowy than this. Yeah, I feel like this is really like truly a natural finish. Well, I'll give you some swatch comparisons and just kind of talk about them so you can kind of get an understanding of the differences and stuff. This is the shade Gypsum for the Kylie. Let's do a swatch of the Morphe 2, which we're trying today. Okay, yeah. So you can see the difference. This is much lighter. This one even has a bit more of a pinky undertone. So honestly, if this shade was this intensity, it would be better for what I need it for. Anything that has a pinky beige undertone is gonna make that grayness under my eyes look real gray. And it's just not a good look because it's so jarring against the warm brown tones of that hyperpigmentation that I have, that I am trying to cover up, trying to conceal, trying to color correct, okay? But I will say this concealer, just so you guys can have a shade comparison and formula comparison. This one, oh, guess I should show you what it is. This top one is the Wet n Wild Mega Last Incognito concealer, which is really nice. I feel like I could probably go a shade down in this one actually, and it would be even better. Just because it's all about shade for me mostly. Shade number 1 and number 2, and they coincide, is the formula if it's too dry, or if it's too matte, I should say. If it's too matte, it's gonna look chalky, drying, but sometimes you can get away with a matter formula if the shade is more on the color correcting end of things. So for me, that would be like a peachier, and even to a more orangey undertone. I can get away with a matter formula such as this one, the LA Colors Ultimate Cover Concealer. If the shade is right, it, weirdly enough, for reasons we will never understand, doesn't look as dry. So this is the Ultimate Cover. And the shade, you might be looking at these and thinking, well, the shades are all pretty similar. This one does oxidize, so it tends to look darker on my skin, and it actually will trick the eye into, give the illusion of more coverage and less crepey dryness. This one dries down pretty matte, more matte than the Wet n Wild. And all these, this one, and, or these two, I should say, are more matte than the Kylie one. The Kylie one is much more glowy. Okay, now the one we're trying today, which is the Morphe 2, it claims to have a natural finish, so we'll see. Right now it's looking exactly like that, natural. It does say it's buildable, so I'm going to go ahead and put a little bit more, and then we'll probably just go ahead and do both eyes, because there's no reason for me today not to do both eyes. Oh no, I actually do. I have another foundation video to film, so I won't do both eyes today, but we'll get just a representation of how this builds. Now, I feel like I don't, just as a first impression, just seeing it like this, I don't like the way it's building on my skin, mostly because I've got this patch of melasma hyperpigmentation right there. And can you see kind of like the chalkiness of it? It's not the product's fault, it's because of how fair it is against the dark that's underneath. Just tends to show the pigment more. So I've been trying like concealers my whole life, and in the last 3 years I've been trying like a ton of them. I have a whole playlist of concealers. So I appreciate any suggestions and thoughts and all that, but I'm not a makeup novice. I'm not a professional, but I'm not a makeup novice, and I generally will know what works well for me and what I like. So before you put comments that suggest that I'm some sort of idiot, just keep that in mind. Yeah, I don't think for me personally I would be able to build this up. If you don't have this going on, which are all my crow's feet wrinkles and old age lines, and then also this patch of melasma hyperpigmentation, you might be able to get away with one thin layer, and in that case I think it's decent. You can tell the difference between eyes for coverage. This I wouldn't, don't let that fool you. This is a shadow because I've got this hereditary bag under my eye. I would have to put a very, very light concealer right there to sort of bounce the light off there and eliminate that shadow. It's not pigmentation, it's a shadow. See that, how it's gone now? back, gone. Okay, so anyway, I will wear this for the rest of the day. As a first impression, I think, depending on what you are looking to cover, if you have a lot of hyperpigmentation, this one's not terrible at all, but I don't see it being great for building up. It seems like it's doing a little tiny bit better. And what I'll do is we'll do a swatch test so we can see if it has oxidized. I feel like it has, or at least it's changed. Yeah. Oh yeah. This is it sitting out. This is the freshly applied. So it's starting to look better, but it's because it's oxidizing. So the shade is changing. For me, that's a good thing for this concealer because the darker it gets, the better it's going to look on for covering. I can even see it just within these, it's still looking a tiny bit chalky, but it's looking a little bit better. So that tends to happen. Unfortunately, that means you can't trust the shade of this. I got it in, again, the shade Peak of Peach, which is perfect for color correcting. So that one of the biggest problems though is that now you don't know which shade to get because you don't know what color it's going to turn. All that being said, right now it looks very nice and natural. Am I jumping up and down over it? No, not really. I honestly wouldn't. I'm getting just a lot of makeup-y lookingness right here, and I don't like that. It's not terrible, but so I wouldn't be like, drop everything and go out and purchase this. I'll try and put the price in the description so you guys will at least have that. But I'll wear it for the rest of the day, update my thoughts in the description, and please don't forget to thumbs up, like, subscribe, ding my bell, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.